G'day all and welcome to Freo Faithful for the Thursday team announcements for our Saturday night clash against Port Adelaide. There isn't too much to discuss. In fact, there's the least amount to discuss on a team stream all season. We've got in unchanged. Can you believe it? I can. Sean Darcy wasn't fit enough to get up this weekend, which, look, depending on which portion of the fan base you ask, and if you ask my portion of the fan base, then I'd be saying, yippee, I hope he recovers from his injury. But look, we are a better team with Luke Jackson's to solo ruck. It's as simple as that. On the other hand, Port Adelaide have just got to make 4 changes. Like, they are chopping the block all over the place. We'll get into chat in a sec. But first of all, let's take a look at the teams. Here they are. They should be up in a second. There we go. So Fremantle have gone unchanged. There's the team. Luke Ryan, Alex Pearce, Brennan Cox, Heath Chapman, Carl Warner, Jordan Clark, Jeremy Sharp, Shea Bolton, Corey Wagner, Michael Frederick, Sam Swikowski, Murphy Reed, Pat Voss, Josh Tracy, Jay Amos, Luke Jackson, Caleb Throng, Andy Brayshaw, Bailey Banfield, Neil Erasmus, Matt Johnson, Cooper Simpson, Isaiah Dudley. So, yeah, Banfield will be sub again. I think we're going very, very unchanged. Port Adelaide, on the other hand, 4 forced changes. So obviously had another big loss last week, but they couldn't even make any omissions because they've got so many forced changes. So it is Savarada Galea who is out with a hamstring. Lockie Jones is out with a hamstring. Josh Sin is out with a hip. And Jason Horn-Francis is out with a hamstring. In Brandon Zerk-Thatcher, Travis Boak, Rory Atkins, and on debut, Hugh Jackson. So there's their team. Logan Evans, Alira Lear, Miles Bergman, Connor Rozee, Brandon Zerk-Thatcher, Ryan Burden, Willem Drew, Ollie Wines, Jace Burgoyne, Darcy Byrne-Jones, Mitch Georgiades, Travis Boak, Sam Powell-Pepper, Ollie Law, Joe Richards, Dante Vizentini, Jackson Mead, Zach Butters, Rory Atkins, Jeremy Finlayson, Christian Moraes, Willie Rioli, and Hugh Jackson. So there you go. That is the team that the Power have gone with. Vastly different to ours. And there are some areas we can really catch them out on, if I'm being honest. This definitely is a banana peel. It's definitely not a game we're going to walk over on. So yeah, there you go. All right. Unchanged it seems, indeed. What you want, this is a message from 12:38 p.m. today. What I want to see, Erasmus, Cooper Stay, Jackson and Voss's rucks, Banfield super sub, Johnson or Sharp out and Noddy. Well, we're getting all of those except for the last one. I think Sharp played his role okay last week, to be honest. He didn't need to rack up heaps of the ball. We didn't bring in Noddy. We don't drop Johnson or Sharp. I guess he's been out for a while. Let's see if he dominates in the waffle with Darcy. Darcy is not going to be playing waffle this week. He's just not playing football, I believe. And yeah, Noddy's still injured. He redid his ankle, or his ankle flared up. So yeah, don't worry. Horses for courses, as Jay would say. He loves the old horses for courses, doesn't he, Justin? Doubly 2-year extension. Yeah, how good. Has the club officially announced it yet? Our Freo Faithful page announced it yesterday. I'm not sure if the club's announced it. They have not. I can maybe hurry up on that because we know it's happened. If the same team rocks up with the same performance, I'm confident for Saturday. Absolutely. Now, if we look at the weather in Burswood for Saturday night, I will be attending. And if anyone else is attending, get your layers on. So when the game starts, it will be about 13 degrees. When the game ends, it'll be about 11 degrees. And it will be raining. So rug up, get your layers on, get your rain jacket, get your poncho. It's going to be a wet and wild one on Saturday night, which it's not going to play into our favour. Port have just come off a wet game where they got smashed. The Giants game, to be fair, was dewy. I wouldn't say raining, but it was dewy. So, yeah, mate, get your layers on. Let's take a look at the matchups here. So, the key position area is interesting. So, if we look at their backs versus our forwards, they are a slow backline. I'm not sure how tall Logan Evans is. Logan Evans is 189, bit undersized. So, the Radagalia's gone out. He was their other key guy. Zerk-Thatcher will play alongside Aaliyah. So, I'm going to probably say that Aaliyah takes Tracy, Zerk-Thatcher takes Amos, and Evans takes Voss. That would be my guess. Bergman's been named in the back line. I'm not sure if he'll roll into the midfield because Jackson Mead's actually been named in the midfield there. I'd assume if Bergman is in the back line, he'd probably I think Bergman going to shave Bolton's very likely because Bolton sort of rotates between the two like Bergman does. So that would make sense. Willem Drury's been named on a wing. I'd expect him to go to Caleb Sarong as a tag. And then, I mean, Butters and Wines will do their own thing. I don't think we'll tag. I don't think, Wagner's been named on the wing, but I don't think we'll tag. And then in terms of our backs versus their forwards, it's a weird one. How tall is Ollie Lord? Ollie Lord is 197. Okay. So I'm going to say, I think Cox probably goes to Georgiades after Cox took Hogan last week. And then Pierce to Lord. Ryan undersized to Burn Jones. That's fine. And then Chappie to Power Pepper. Sort of works itself out. Carl Warner will probably take a Joe Richards. Travis Boak being named to the half forward lane doesn't really mean anything. I mean, tell you, that poor team sucks. We have to be smashing that. You look at our team on paper. You've got the Alex Pierces, the Luke Ryans, the Shea Boltons, the Josh Tracys, the Luke Jacksons, the Caleb Sarongs, the Andy Brayshaws. The list goes on. You go to Port. You've got Ollie Lord, all right, player. Jackson Mead, Dante Vizentini, Hugh Jackson, Rory Atkins, Christian Moraes. I mean, no disrespect to Port Adelaide, but it's not a team that should be coming over to Optus and beating us. No disrespect. Cox on Power Pepper, Pierce on Ollie Lord. Okay, makes sense. So Cox won't take... Who's going to take Georgiades then? It's going to be very, very cold on a Saturday night, brother. Big advantage to Port in the wet, takes away all the skill. Yeah, exactly. Port can just make it a scrap. Because I suggest we're probably a more skillful team than Port. That being said, we don't show it every week, but I'd suggest we probably are. So, yeah, I think it definitely does play into the Powers' favour, the weather. Did you hear on one of the footy shows they said Freo was the best at scoring from the back 50, better than the Pies and Dogs, and the last 7 premiers had the stat as number 1? The thing is, the season has never, ever ended by round 11. In round 11 starting, the season's never ended by round 10. So I think we do just need to hold up and give ourselves a chance. Like, I'm still mortified from that Saints game, but I'm ready to say, you know what, if we win on Saturday in convincing fashion, we've got 2 in a row, we'll probably be in the 8. And, a big challenge away in the Gold Coast faces us. So I'm happy to look at it from that optimistic point of view. And scoring from the back half is a big stat to be winning. The fact we're number 1 in the comp is huge. On paper, we should win, but we've said that before. And yeah, exactly. The 2 games this season I've tipped against us have been the Adelaide game and last week, and we won both. So, hey, my tips don't mean anything. The consensus tip doesn't mean anything because I'd assume the Adelaide and Giants would have been consensus tips in both of those games. Tipping a low-scoring game in the wet. Freo always play low-scoring games in the wet. Now, I'm not sure how wet it'll be. It says here 25% chance of rain. So it'll probably be rain, millimeters. Is there any information? Let me go on the bomb. Can I find Saturday? I can. It's going to be a lower 5 degrees. Rainfall. Okay, sorry, I'm on the bomb now. So there's a 50% chance of rain. So it definitely will rain at about 7 o'clock, which will be probably midway through the second quarter. Temperatures at about 8 a.m., it will feel like 9 degrees. Okay, it's going to be about 9 degrees, 50% chance of rain. I'm not sure about millimeters, but I'm going to assume there's going to be a fair bit if it's 50%. So, yeah, look, 9 degrees, rain, get rugged up, and these players better go out there and put their heads over the pill. Last time I remember us playing a wet game at home was the Tigers game last year, and we won by 60. So maybe that's a good luck shot. Maybe we're good in the wet now. We've seen the word horses for courses has been used multiple times in this chat already. Tipping a low scoring. Oh, I've already read that. My bad. More behinds and goals, do you reckon? Probably, yeah. Games like this tend to have them. I'm hoping we can fix up our kicking, though. A lot of the time in the wet, there's so little chances that there do end up being far more goals than behind. So, who knows? Cats or dogs, man, it's a tough one to tip. I've got the Cats purely because it's at GMHBA, but hey, you could go either way. I think on ESPN Footy Tips, it's pretty close to a 50-50. I can check it right now, actually. I'll get the app up. Is it about as 50-50 as you'll get? No, it's 63-37 to Geelong. So it's actually gone out a bit. But yeah, it's a very, very hard round to tip, to be honest. Like Melbourne, Sydney on Sunday, that's 49-51. I've tipped Melbourne. So yeah, there's quite a few difficult games this week. Yeah, in terms of subs, I've already mentioned it. Banfield definitely will be sub again. Atkins, Finlayson, Moraes, Rioli, Jackson. I'm not sure who Hugh Jackson is. Is he Wolverine? Midfielder, 182 centimeters. What does he do? 55th pick in the 2021 draft. Yep, scream sub. So lock it in. Hugh Jackson sub. Because Atkins might be. Atkins is the other one, but it will be Jackson. Let's be honest. What if JL plays Darcy after next week? Back to slow ball movement and back at square one. I think that's a bit harsh to say that Darcy's the stem of our slow ball movement. He's not. When Darcy's in the team, that's not the problem he provides. It's the extra number around the ball and his ability to follow up at ground level, which Jackson brings. But slow ball movement is not. It's not the fault of Sean Darcy whatsoever. Listening at work, can't hear shit. Let's go. Yes, sir. Would you rather Gold Coast come off a win this week or a loss to St Kilda? Who do they play? The Saints. I'd rather the Gold Coast just win by like 20 points, quite comfortably, sort of cruise along, and they come in not ready for us next week. Darcy's coming back ASAP, we're just going to deal with it. Well, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I mean, in the last game Darcy played, Jackson started in the ruck, and I think Jackson probably rucks more than Darcy. So even when he does come back, Jackson might still be considered the number one ruck. And JL was saying in this presser, he's not sold on just playing Darcy just because he's fit. Like, yes, that will probably happen, but I think JL was pretty aware of the fact that Jackson obviously gives us a different matchup in different ruck opponents. Yeah, Swaggy is a bit underdone. He won't play Waffle this weekend, I don't believe. I'm not sure if the Peel teams come out. Our emergencies are Draper, Aish, Reedy. Okay. Let's take a gaze. Peel, Thunder. I forgot what I was typing for a sec. The team is not out. Okay, well, that's not a help, is it? See, I don't know what the team is for Peel. I'm not sure if I don't think Darcy's playing. Going to the game on Saturday. Have fun, Liam. Might see you there. All right, we've got nothing to discuss. We've discussed everything we need to. Subs, matchups, the port changes, all of our changes. We had an abundance of changes this week. Apart from that, let's just kick on. This is the sort of game we have to roll up, do the business, bring the same intensity as last week, be aware of the conditions, and just we've got to win big. I don't want an unconvincing win here. I want to win big. I want to get back to back on the board, heading into the Suns, move to 6 and 5, move into the 8. We've been at these crossroads so many times this season where we've just got to win to start to kick on a bit of form and move into the 8, and we've just failed to do so. So it's a game we have to win. It's a game we're clear favourites in, but it's a game we could lose. It's a clear banana peel. So, yeah, we're just going to be on top of that. Thank you all for watching. If you go to the game on Saturday night, have fun. If you're not, you can join the fan cams after, hosted by Drews. That'll be a late Saturday night one. The late night ones have always been fun this year. The preview will be out. Preview will be out tomorrow, I believe. Not tonight, no. Preview will be out tomorrow. And then, as I said, fan cam Saturday and pod Monday or Tuesday, whatever we decide. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Up the Dockers. Cheers.